Hi everyone, welcome back to the Dahlia Sewciety. My name's Kristen. I'm pretty sure we've met before, but I've got somebody here that you haven't met, and this is my eldest daughter, Phoebe.
Hello everyone. I'm Kristen's eldest daughter. I don't know what to say. I consider myself more of a behind the scenes type of person.
I had to persuade her.
Yeah, she's been begging me to come on screen for some time now. But now that I'm becoming part of the old Dahlia Sewciety team, I don't really have an excuse anymore. So,
exactly.
Hello, here I am.
Just like mum, basically, I have to drag her on the screen, but I know a lot of you guys love seeing the other members of the team. So Phoebe's I've got 4 daughters. So basically, she's the eldest of 5 kids. We've got 1 son and 4 daughters. So she's
the firstborn.
She thinks she's the most important one, of course.
Because I am, but yeah.
But no, actually, the one good thing about our relationship, Phoebe and I, is that she's the crafty one. I think the youngest one, Lily, could be taking on those crafty
She's pretty
genes.
good at sewing.
Fingers crossed. She's been doing a bit of knitting and that as well. But it's nice to share your sewing or your crafting with someone. And I know Mum really enjoys a bit of crafting to keep her busy as well. So I'll let Phoebe talk a little bit about herself and her background, just to introduce you. So yeah.
Okay. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. I have previously studied illustration and got myself a diploma in that. And while I was doing it, I found out I did a bit of fabric design. I'm like, oh, it's really fun to work in a different media. And given, I always like to experiment and do collages and things like that. I got more and more into crafting. I always liked my textiles classes in high school, but due to my school not being the best.
A lot of public schools here don't offer textiles. Or
they
really
started
limited.
to and just would cancel it immediately. So
it's a shame.
It was sticking to the art classes for me. After I did that, I went on to do Cert 4 in Textile Design Development and Production at RMIT in Brunswick.
And I was like, yes, please go and do that. This is for you. So
I think a lot of people, when they know who my mum is, assume that she is like, has molded me to be her little protege. But I've always loved this kind of thing. I've always been an embroiderer. I've made a lot of patches. I kind of taught myself on the sewing machine. I guess I just kind of like to fiddle around and figure things out for myself. I'm, a bit of a technical-minded person. I make flat-packed furniture for fun.
I usually get her. And she's the one that's going to be organising this. We're eventually going to be setting up a lot of, with our storage at home here. And I've said Phoebe's the one that's going to be organising me and Mum and I. Because we need someone to help us organise.
They get in a bit of, they try their best. They get in a bit of a tizzy.
But yeah, look, I reckon it was great. And she actually did that course. It was kind of in the middle of COVID.
It was. I started it about, I want to say, end of February 2020. And we all know how March went. But that wasn't so bad for me because I'm a bit of a homebody as it is. I really only get out for live music at this point. But I, have a lot of my equipment at home. I went out and got myself a knitting machine off Gumtree so I could keep doing those classes. And it worked out pretty well for me, actually. Yeah. I picked up a lot of new skills and new crafts, and I'm always keen to have a shot at another hobby. I do a lot of things.
I remember that when you first did that textile printing, the graphics, and we sent it off to Spoonflower. Yeah. And she printed it and got it back. And
I did. Yeah. I did a little print because I was obsessed with the TV series The Terror. And so I did a little print inspired by the Franklin expedition to the Arctic.
Phoebe and I have got really different tastes. You'll get to see that. Phoebe's got kind of a bit more of a, I don't know, like the stuff that you gravitate towards is maybe different to what I do, but it's really good. But we always tend to go for the same thing as well.
I've given Mum a few suggestions for her boxes. And sometimes they're all right, but sometimes, I'm not sure her audience would want to go for a Victorian Gothic horror Bloodborne themed box.
No, probably not. But then again, I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there.
You never know. So
exactly, you can't assume.
Speak up and let me know.
Phoebe's got some really awesome. I'll actually the next time we get you on here, I'll get you to show your cross stitches.
My cross stitches, yeah.
Because she gets a lot of patterns from Etsy from a lot of makers around the globe, even a lot of Ukrainian.
There was a big drive to buy digital patterns from Ukraine because they wouldn't have to, you know, no shipping expenses, anything like that. It's all so there was a lot of sales and stuff on, and I really stocked up, and you know, there's a few fantastic pattern designers like Stitchy Princess Black and a few others that I'm sure I've got on my computer somewhere. But yeah, I love cross stitch, especially because there's a lot of more quirky and gothic themed patterns. I'm kind of branching out and doing my own stuff now, some of my own designs. I just do a lot of horror themed stuff and things inspired by video games I love.
And she's does a little bit of making for like cosplay.
Dabbling in that now. Which
is great when you're a sewist and you can make your own cosplay.
I've always
outfits.
wanted to, and I'm kind of taking that plunge now finally.
It's exciting.
But I got a lot of hobbies. I do traditional, not cross stitch embroidery as well, mostly to make patches. I'm sure we can put a few pictures up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And I've started doing little miniature kits as well.
Oh, yeah, they're really exciting. Those little kits are amazing. They are so, oh my goodness, the amount of detail. And there's a little sewing room one I told her, I said, get this one. They're incredible, the detail, and they're like little mini diorama kind of models. And actually yesterday we were just saying on Target they had
a Lego set, but it's Lego that looks like it's like botanical themed.
Yeah,
they have flowers and little bonsai trees, and it's it looks really fun.
Yeah, definitely. If you like, anything, fine motor skills and putting things together, these Lego sets looked really interesting.
Yeah, I reckon I'll have to give one a shot. There's a very pretty orchid one.
So yeah, there's heaps. We could talk for literally days about different crafting, and I think. You guys went to Japanese.
I'm keen to give.
Yeah,
we went to a festival at the Box Hill Town Hall, a Japanese cultural festival, and I even picked up a few little crafting kits there. There was a lot of little market stalls that I picked up a kit for a type of paper-themed jewellery making called Mizuhiki, I believe. So I'm going to give that a go, and I'll show it on camera.
We studied a bit of language before with the Japanese in Kirk Street.
I did a few classes. I'd like to go back to them. I'd just been too busy with work reasons, and I've always been interested by languages in general.
Yep.
So
she's moved on from learning optician.
I recently I have been working for the past year and a half as an optical dispenser. But so basically fixing glasses, little repairs here and there, getting them made up and ready, putting the lenses in, all that kind of stuff.
So again, fine motor stuff.
Yeah.
Really
that's my favourite part of the job is the cleaning. And I mean, obviously I wear glasses myself because my vision's terrible.
She's got lots of glasses.
I picked up a lot of glasses along the way. But due to that shop moving out of town, it's kind of been a bit of a fortunate situation that there's just so happens to be my mum working in the field that I'm passionate about.
There you go. So it was perfect timing.
Very fortuitous.
We've got heaps to talk about today, haven't we?
Oh yeah,
tons. We're going to talk about the new poppy fabrics we have in, also the amazing range that we had in from the UK from Pattern Trace, which is all to do with things like your Swedish tracing papers and pattern envelopes. I'm going to go through all of them. And also a really exciting delivery of pure Australian merino boiled wool. So a lot of you guys have been waiting to see that as well. So let's talk about the new delivery of poppy French terries all the way from Europe. Phoebe, you can grab whatever one you gravitate towards.
I'm getting my favourite first and foremost.
Oh, this is amazing. This is French terry, so really beautiful quality. French terry, of course, is that beautiful sweatery knit with that loop back. And we love wearing our French terries.
Oh, yeah. I like being comfy.
Look, I actually helped Phoebe. Phoebe helped me pick a lot of these out because there was a couple there that I just thought, I know this one could be classed as a little bit novelty, but...
That's this one in particular, and I thought it's so pretty. It's so mystical.
I'd wear it. I'd wear it.
And I think there's the urge to err on the side of things that you know are safe and more conservative, but do you really want to?
I think it'd be fun, and I don't find it's like a really kidsy, cutesy print. I just think it's so whimsical and beautiful. It's called Fairy Tales, and look, we'll show the camera up close the print. The little fairies and the deer and the, oh my goodness me, it's divine. The colours in it reminded me of kind of the camo colours, the background. I want to make a top out of this, a nice sweater top.
Yeah, I think it can be a bit nerve-wracking to sew a fabric that you love the print of, but like, oh, is that a bit too much for me? Like, it doesn't matter.
No,
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you like it,
and it's the same with colours, isn't it? A lot of people are very cautious with their colours, have had their colours done, and they don't want to.
Like, you think about that, but then you think, have you ever been walking down the street and been like, oh my God, that lady's wearing a green shirt? Like, you don't care. No, it's fine.
No, exactly. And if it's what you love, in the end, you're going to wear it because you're going to feel great.
That's all that matters. So. Clothing exists to, like, work for you.
That's
you know what I mean?
Especially when you can't find what you like in stores. Yeah. I think it's really nice.
What are we sewing for in the first place?
Exactly. Definitely. But that is a beautiful print, that one. The other ones we have here, that one's a restock. We had that and sold it out really quickly. That was the Night Flower print, and it's the colours in that are just stunning as well.
Peachy orangey hint.
The corally kind of, that's really nice, that.
I love a bit of orange.
And these are really nice and warm as well. Phoebe, you can reach that one for me. This is a really, really elegant, the purple and the greens on this are just stunning. I think this one's going to be very popular. Anything to do with purple sells so fast.
Oh, I even know that from with glasses. I reckon it was the #1 most requested colour for anyone who wanted that colour.
I know I've got a lot of purple fans
all
out
ages.
There yes,
really purple.
Definitely purple. All ages, isn't it?
Oh yeah. #1 requested colour, I'd say.
Yeah, pink's always when little girls, but as they grow older, they tend to go more for purples. That one was a restock of that beautiful poppy print. That sold out so fast last time.
So vibrant.
Isn't it really pretty?
It's so pretty.
I know Catherine from So Much Sewing, she made a really lovely cashmere sweater pattern with a bit of colour blocking, and it turned out amazing. So head over and have a look at how that turned out. These ones remind me of, I think this is the Labyrinth in Hunter Green, the paisley print. Now, what were we saying before? It reminded us.
It's a bit arts and crafts looking, a bit Morris and Co.
Yep. William Morris. Phoebe's a big fan of William Morris.
Oh, yeah. Maybe a little more paisley inspired than his
gives that
stuff,
vibe.
But it's
I think
beautiful
it's
sagey green.
Look at that print up close. Actually, Phoebe collects William Morris like duvet covers and quilts and prints, and she's done a bit of studying about William Morris.
Oh yeah,
before.
Really interesting person. Yeah, his daughter May Morris, I believe, took over the company after he did, and his daughters were actually quite capable, especially Victorian ladies. They were kind of raised to be assertive.
That would have been unheard of back then, to have a daughter take over back in those times.
She's a very cool, confident lady, and some of the duvet covers I have are actually May Morris designs, and she was a renowned embroiderer. So there's another reason for me to.
Have you read a book about it or something? Was there a book that you read, or you were researching a book?
I did an assignment in my textiles class, and I picked that one up.
May Morris. Be an interesting person to look into if you haven't before. And if you love William Morris designs, and I know a lot of homewares now have jumped on the bandwagon.
Oh yeah, I mean this is an iconic strawberry thief.
That's it.
It's little birds.
And I know here in Australia, Bed Bath and Table have a lot of the quilt covers that are just divine, and I know Phoebe spent a lot of her hard-earned money on those sheets. We're not only textile lovers of fabric, but also linen and bedding.
I'm very serious about my room looking a certain way. I'm sure maybe eventually we'll show it.
She's a big fan of green, as you can tell.
Oh yeah, my favourite colour.
Now this is the rouge colour of the same fabric, the Labyrinth. That is a really dusty, pretty colour.
It's really nice.
That's lovely. That I think it's bordering on a, what would you say?
Dusty, I don't know. It reminds me of a really nice lipstick.
Oh, it's really really pretty, isn't it? Dusty. I know a lot of people.
It's like a very deep rose.
It's gorgeous. A lot of people love the autumnal colours. I love brights, but I also really love autumnal colours, and I know a lot.
I wear autumnal colours all year, to be honest.
Definitely. It's a beautiful one, that one. This is another restock, the butterfly in amber, I think it was. Just so
That's cool.
That one sold out so super duper quick over a weekend. We had it in last time. So these are all European poppy fabrics, but
I love moths. So this is
actually, that's another thing you've done, a moth exhibition that
yeah, I took part in an exhibition where we all designed our own little moths and printed them ourselves, and they were sent off around the world for more people that had their little moths too.
That's right. That was at Mornington. They had a exhibition.
Yeah.
It was a gallery they hired at, and I went and visited, and there was that many moths
I don't
everywhere.
remember where it left off to. It might have gone to, I think it went to the US afterwards. So it was just going around the world and everyone adds their little moths to it. I do like that this has moths instead of just butterflies too.
Exactly. No,
I think
really
they're so
pretty.
beautiful, and I think they're a bit underappreciated.
Moths, definitely. Now we're going to talk about our beautiful Australian Merino boiled wool. I am a huge boiled wool fan. I have sewn with boiled wool for the last 4 or 5 years on and off.
It's very practical.
It's so nice. It's not like, let me explain, it's not like a coating. If you've never seen or touched boiled wool, coating can be quite heavy, and sometimes the wool coatings that you buy can be quite cumbersome and if you don't like anything too heavy or too weighty, you'll love boiled wool because it has that beautiful breathability of being the natural fibre.
It's very lightweight.
That one is gorgeous because it's not too heavy, and I have had boiled wools in the past that are quite heavy and prickly. These ones are amazingly soft, and you can see the quality of that beautiful Australian merino in there. Of course, we are the capital, the wool capital of the world, being here. The quality of the Australian wool we export is just second to none. But the way that they make boiled wool is very different because it's called a process called fulling, and they soak it in like a solution and like kind of beat it, and it compacts the fibres, the layers together.
It's very dense.
Yeah. So although it's lightweight, it's dense and it's really, really warm. It's snuggly, and like I actually have a thing where I can't stand prickly things on my skin, but this boiled wool is so soft and has a beautiful amount of drape that I could quite easily wear that on my skin. And I love the fact that you can make jackets and cardigan style things that you can throw over like a kind of a dressing gown to wear all day.
Oh, yeah. Because it's got that lovely drape to it.
It has. And the colours are amazing. That's the burnt sienna. So it's
lovely rusty colour.
Oh, and you know, when I first was looking, I thought it looked quite orange on the actual.
It's definitely not.
It's
in person.
It's more like a chestnut colour.
Yeah, it's like I'd say it's a subdued. It's a very burnt orange.
Yep, really, really pretty.
Yeah. Nothing obnoxious about it.
So you can see how it's got a really nice amount of drape there, but up close, that beautiful fibre. So it's not see-through at all. And look, in the past, I've bought boiled wools that have been blended with acrylic. They're just like
you'll just feel the difference in the quality.
They're just so different to this. They are more of a see-through. They're not the nicest thing to wear.
This flimsier. This is a lot more sturdy feeling.
Beautiful colour. This is the peacock. That's the one that I think you were looking at, weren't you? The peacock. That's
it's beautiful.
A gorgeous tealy colour. Really, really stunning. The last one is the nightingale, which is a really rich navy colour, really pretty dark navy, and that has already started selling. But yeah, I can get more colours. We'll see how they go if you enjoy these boiled wools. And they aren't cheap. I must say that you do get what you pay for with boiled wool. And I had the option of importing some in from overseas, and I just thought, why not embrace what Australia does so well? And
I think people do want quality.
Exactly. And
if you're putting that effort into making yourself a beautiful garment, you don't necessarily want to skimp on the actual fabric it's made of. Exactly.
No, definitely. And the good thing with boiled wool is that the edges don't fray. That's that fulling technique. So you can have raw edges. You don't need to do hems. You can have, I've got a few patterns to go through to show you what you can make with the boiled wool, and you won't need to overlock the edges or even hem the edges. So
we all love not having to hem edges.
Oh, I know. Even the Ponte. I forgot to mention the Ponte episode, that Ponte you don't need to hem either. You can just cut off the bottom, and I've got a couple
I've
of
got to sew some later today.
Yeah, actually, Phoebe's making a Ponte outfit for her cosplay for a party.
A party, an anime-themed birthday party.
That is going to be fun. Can't wait to show you guys pics of that.
Oh, boy.
The Kaya Cardigan from Sew to Grow is a great one for boiled wool. I've made that in the past. That is really a great pattern for like a kind of a blazer style. The other one is the Alston reversible jacket. That's a great one. Of course, you can leave all the edges raw on that, and it has a beautiful amount of drape. Boil wool will be great for that. I've seen the Megan Nielsen Hovia in boil wool, and I saw that. I'll put a pic up so you can see. I've seen this done in so many quilted designs and never seen it in boil wool, but it looked amazing in boil wool. And that was the longer line one in the middle. She used it with a tie. So that I love.
It's really nice.
Quilted jackets. That's one thing I think you could definitely.
I'd love to try.
Phoebe's got a really nice quilted jacket that she bought. We don't buy a lot of clothes, but when there's something that you...
It was an artist I really like was doing a collaboration. It was Jess Johnson doing a collection with Gorman last year.
It's just a divine jacket. It's really,
amazing.
Yeah. Sometimes you fall in love with a print and you just think, if I can't find that fabric, I'll buy it.
There's no way you could find a fabric
exactly. Like that. The other ones are from Tezzuti, and of course I've made 4 different boil wool jackets with Tezzuti patterns before. There's the Sydney jacket. I'll put a pic up so you can see. It's a bit hard to see behind that. And there's also the Berlin, and that's a fantastic one in a boiled wool. And also the Brooklyn jacket. I've made all 3 of those and love them. But when I did make one of my Sydney ones, it was in a kind of a cheaper acrylic blend, and the fabric was really itchy and rough. And I want to remake it in one of these beautiful Aussie merino boil wools because it'll just be gorgeous. And they're quite oversized. Check your the measurements on Tezzuti patterns. I know with the Berlin and the Sydney and the Brooklyn, I had to size down because they're quite roomy, but beautiful jackets to make. Also, the new one from Stylark here is the Percy poncho. That would be beautiful in a boil wool. Just a nice thing to throw over. And yeah, so I think there's heaps. If you look through the jacket or cardigan or coat section in the patterns on the online store, most things will say what they require. Or if you can make boil wool or not, they'll be perfect for that. But you can pretty much make any coating. Oh yeah, you could line it quite easily, but I tend to.
It's not super necessary.
I don't think you need to. And plus, then you get that nice natural fibre. Whereas when you're wearing a lining, it'll stop.
And it already feels nice against the skin anyway.
Definitely. But no, I love the boiled wool. So we were talking about pattern trace, the big delivery we had from the UK. They've been so popular in the UK, and I've had one of my lovely customers, Alison, has requested and said if you can get hold of these beautiful journals and the Swedish paper, go for it because they're the best quality ever. The Swedish tracing paper has just arrived, and they are 10 metre long rolls and 1 metre wide. And from what I've heard, the reviews on Pattern Trace, people have just said it is the most brilliant quality Swedish tracing paper. I'm going to link this below. All of these things will be linked below so you can go and check out how like sustainably made they are as well. And they are.
That feels like... Yeah, it's not
like in between
flimsy
tissue.
Old butcher paper. It's like... It feels...
I think people do tissue fitting with this as well. It's almost like a fibre, like a fabric.
Yeah.
It's made from like regenerated fibre. You have to look at the actual description on there and just see how sustainably made they are. And yeah, they're compostable and everything else. But I think people have just said they are the best quality tissue papers they've used for tracing. And also they've got the
we've got a needle box.
Needle store kit.
Yeah.
And there's little tabs that you can
labels
stick on the side. You can stick the needle that you're using on the little Velcro or little patch there.
I think you can see.
You've got the labels. You can hold it up so everyone can see. The apparently these are fantastic as well. And the spool pot, I think is the other one you've got there.
Yeah, it looks to be
like silicone.
Silicone, yeah.
And you put
it's got a bit of a
bobbin and your thread in them together to keep them all together because look, I've got thread thing on the wall there and I just find it gets a bit of a mess and separate little bobbin cases.
You do it all pretty with the colour gradient, which looks lovely, but then you actually start using them.
It's not as practical.
Just kinda.
And I've got bobbin cases everywhere, and it had to have it to match.
Because there's nothing worse than realising thinking you've got a bobbin spoolder.
Yes.
And realising you actually ran out of it.
Exactly.
Here I'm ready to go. Right there with your spool.
Exactly. I love this. This is one we were looking at, went with the fabric swatch book.
I love this.
Oh, Phoebe's ready to get her hands on one of these. Yes. And to have it all documented, you can put your swatch there, you can write what the fibre content was.
Oh, yeah. I'm a very physical journal person. I love having things at a glance. This is awesome.
I think these are great. There's also the Maker's Journals, which I am going to be getting in next delivery. They look fantastic as well. These are the pattern envelopes, and how fantastic is that for all your PDF to keep everything together. I love that you can put the...
It looks so lovely and tidy.
I know. You get a set of 10 and you can put the pic of the pattern on the front so you know where it is and the designer and everything there. They've been really popular already.
Even your little notes, maybe keeping in mind what size you sewed last
or like
time.
alterations that you did to the pattern.
Yeah.
That's really organised. The other thing is the little garment planner notepads. I think they're in like they've got 25 on the pad there, but they're really great because you can list what fabric and haberdashery you need for a certain
nothing worse than going shopping and realising you've forgotten your elastic.
Done that before.
We've all been there.
These are the Prim hot hammers or the ironing rulers. If you haven't used one of those, I was just showing Mum yesterday.
Oh yeah, always super practical.
Great for mitered hems and to get that perfectly measured hem. And the heat permeates through the ruler while you're ironing it and makes your fabric nice and crisply pressed. What else have we got? The last thing to show you here today is some beautiful patterns. Now, Mason Fauve patterns. My goodness, you guys have been big fans. I think I'm on to my 3rd delivery of them. I can see another one coming next week because the new ones we had in are selling. And I haven't even shown you guys. This pillar jacket. Have you seen that? Oh, Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door made a couple of versions and she loved the fact they had little darts around the neck.
The back is really cool as well.
But the thing is, I think a lot of people are asking me if I can get stretch denim in because it's beautiful in a denim, and I am going to be getting coloured denims in. Hopefully in probably the next month or so. That would be perfect for that pillar jacket. Mason Fauve's really nice. We've got the Mason Fauve Brooklyn pants. Look how nice they are. They're like a nice classic 1940s looking high waist, wide leg pair of pants. We've got you can show that one. That's the Atlas, I think it is.
Yeah, the Atlas robe or blouse, depending on which length you'd prefer to have it at.
That nice pin-tucked sort of bodice area. That's really pretty.
It's very delicate and very vintage.
I love Mason Fauve. And the envelopes are gorgeous. Look how nice, like kind of Art Deco. This is this is the Metropolis jacket that has that nice Coco Chanel kind of...
Yeah, there's a kind of classic design to all of these. It's just a level of detail and quality.
So beautiful. And the last one is the Pam. This would be beautiful in royal wool as well.
Oh, definitely.
Pam. That coat is just a really classic style throw-over coat that would be fantastic to wear throughout the cooler months. It's starting to cool down out here now.
Oh, yeah, so we're not outside today.
We actually were going to take you outside, but it's the wind was picking up and I just said to Phoebe, let's just go inside and we'll get everything out. But I do love filming outside because I know a lot of you guys like that nice scenic background.
Just getting to that rainy season now, though.
It's starting to cool down. But I'm thinking I want to make a sweater out of that fairy tale.
Definitely.
Vintage.
I love the moths.
The moths. Maybe you can do one out of that. I think if it lasts long enough. So anyway.
Is any left over?
But we have got a lot more fabric on the way, and I'm sure you'll see. By next week we'll have a lot more coming to excite you guys. Lots of interesting knits as well coming from Europe, which is fantastic.
And it keeps it exciting working here as well.
It does. She's like, oh, this is like Christmas, isn't it?
It is. It's fun.
Actually, the Atelier Jupe high summer collection is coming. We've got a lot of those fabrics that are coming over from Belgium. And of course, we're in winter here, but I really wanted to make sure I offered them to you guys. A lot of you guys are really, really huge fans of Atelier Jupe fabrics.
Yeah, even if it is overly summery, you might want to make it and keep it to wear.
Exactly. And we've got a lot of people buying from up top of Queensland,
where it's never really cold
all the time. So you can definitely think about making some of that beautiful, beautiful patterns.
It's always nice to have options.
Exactly. So it's always something to keep you busy. So thank you for that. I'm sure Phoebe's enjoyed coming. It wasn't scary. It wasn't scary.
I was very nervous.
Look, I remember the first time I filmed thinking, oh my goodness. But you know what? Once you get over that fear of filming, it's just fun to bring Phoebe and Mum on here to give you guys something new and different. So I'm sure we'll have heaps to show you for next week. So take care, everyone. Have a wonderful sewing week. We'll see you all soon.
I'll see ya.
Bye.